Most men are lying to themselves. See, you think you're doing the work, but you're actually not. See, the work isn't just about grind, hustle, suppress your emotions. That's not what the work is. That is the traditional masculine example of what work is, but that is no longer relevant. Now we are ascending to a higher frequency of what masculinity means, and it's to embody the full essence of who we actually are. And we think that what we must do is we just must work, we must grind, we must hustle, we must ignore our emotions, suppress our emotions, stop being a little baby, be a fucking man. That's what the traditional masculine essence entails, but in reality, that's not who we truly are. That's an outdated definition of what it means to be a man. The hard truth of doing the work as a man is a lot deeper than that, and it's a lot more uncomfortable. And as we uncover what it means to be a modern masculine man in this video, you're going to realize that there's a lot more to us than what we have been led to believe. So let's dive right in. So the traditional masculine essence essentially says that we need to hustle 24/7, we need to chase money, we need to chase women, we need to chase status, and we must never show weaknesses. We're often told to man up, which essentially just means shut up about your feelings. We don't want to hear your feelings, we don't want to see your feelings. And typically, the way that we measure actual manhood is by the amount of money you have, the amount of women that you have, your status, if you're muscular, but the emotions are to be buried. We don't want to bring those up. And this is exactly why men fall into numbing themselves through various vices. They do this because they feel stressed or empty inside. Instead of actually working on figuring out what the issue is, they just numb themselves. This could look many different ways. This could look as you binge watching Netflix, you doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, you indulging in sweets or just processed foods. This can look like partying or drinking every weekend. This can even look like watching porn. This can even look like just avoiding the work that needs to get done through whatever means, maybe video games or whatever is your drug of choice. And this is all to avoid facing reality. The reality of our internal being, of our inner self. We do all of this to escape that. We don't want to face the emotions and the feelings that keep coming up because we were told that if we do express them, if we do show our weakness, then that means we are not a man. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, it makes you more of a man if you have emotional intelligence. If you're able to control your emotions but not suppress them, that makes you more of a man. If you are in touch with your emotions and you can use them to your advantage, then you are more of a man than the one who suppresses his emotions and then falls into that cycle of numbing himself through all his vices. See, all of these habits that we call vices that we know we shouldn't partake in, all of these habits that allow us to numb ourselves, the only reason that we are partaking in these habits is because we use them to escape the feelings on the inside that maybe we're not good enough, or maybe we don't have our purpose, or maybe we're escaping the pain of whatever that emotion causes. They are literally escape mechanisms. And most men are just performing at being men nowadays. They're not actually evolving. They put on this mask of, hey, look at me, I'm so confident. Hey, look at me, I'm so successful. But yet they're dying deep inside. It's all just a hollow facade. They aren't actually happy with their confidence, their success, their strength, whatever it is that they're boasting. They're not actually happy with that. That's just what they use to provide themselves with this sense of worth. They find their worth through these external achievements because that's what we were brought up to believe. We were brought up to believe that these external achievements are what create a man. But again, that couldn't be further from the truth. But underneath all of that, they still haven't grown. There's still that child who is looking for approval. There's still that younger version of themselves who doesn't know what it takes to be a man. There's still that version of themselves who is running away from the feelings and emotions that are arising within him because he was never taught to actually deal with them. He was just taught to cover them up, push them down, and then get back to work. And if that feels like you, if you feel like you're doing everything right by society standards and you still feel unfulfilled, this is exactly why. And this is what we're going to explore in this video. And I'm going to show you exactly how to get over that so you can finally find fulfillment in your life and stop seeking all these empty achievements. Now, here's what doing the work means. Doing the work is one of the toughest things that you can actually do, but it's the most rewarding. And see, the hardest thing isn't about building a business or building your body. It's actually about facing your darkness within. It's about facing your shadow. This simply means looking in the mirror and confronting all the parts of yourself that you are ashamed of or afraid of. This is that late night inner battle when no one else is around. This is what goes on within the confines of your body, of your spirit, of your soul, of your energy that most people will never get to see or even hear about. And quite frankly, this is what we are running away from. This is the shadow work. When anxiety, insecurity, or trauma or anger start to well up in the body, what do we tend to do? We tend to escape by going back to our vices, our old habits, and things that we think make us feel good. This is how we escape from actually feeling all those shadow aspects of ourselves through mindlessly scrolling on TikTok, through watching porn, through going out clubbing and getting shit-faced, through eating junk food. Whatever your vice is, this is how we escape. We escape to numb the pain of this anger or insecurity or whatever we're feeling. Now, let's be real honest here. That is the coward's way out. It's just a temporary relief that stops us from confronting the real issue. Now, what we're going to do now is to stop running away from the darkness. And instead, we're going to confront it. We're going to face it, and we're going to shine some light on it. We're going to face those demons head on and dig deep into our past, our fears, our insecurities, and our pain. And this is the kind of work that's done in silence. We're not looking to be praised for this. We're not looking for a pat on the back or an applause. This is something that's done within the confines of your own space, of your own room, of your own mind. This is something that is done in secret. Nobody needs to know any of this. You can be brutally honest, and in fact, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And if you're journaling, you can even just burn the paper afterwards to make sure that nobody sees it. This is just between you and you. And this is the real work that most men avoid simply because it's painful and it can be scary. But I'm here to tell you that as long as you keep avoiding the shadow owns you. You are being controlled by your shadow. And by doing this inner work, by shining light on the shadow, you break free from the shackles of that aspect of yourself and you start using it to your advantage. And imagine how amazing it would feel to finally not be haunted by your trauma or your fear. Imagine how it would feel to have the strength and courage and power to face the shadow aspect of yourself and say, I've had enough. We're no longer doing this. There's no reason you should be running my life. And this is what we're going to fucking do. We're no longer going to partake in those vices. We're going to use whatever feelings and emotions come up to our advantage. And we're going to grow through it instead of suppressing it and ignoring it. And once you dive deep into shadow work, this is when you actually start to heal. This is when you start to gain more self-awareness. And this is when you actually start to find your purpose and have a real direction in your life. This is where the boy turns into a man. Now, we're not talking age here because that has nothing to do with age. It has to do with who you are as a being. Once you dive into the shadow work, you start uncovering the fears of the boy and start using them to create the man that you know you're capable of being. This is the work. This is the modern masculine way. This is how we take control of the pure essence, of the full essence of who we actually are. Now, as I've said, this can be very scary and it can be very painful, but I know you fucking got this. You've made it this far through this video. That tells me that you are extremely dedicated to becoming the best version of yourself. And this is the way, bro. This is the way. You have to shine light on the darkness. That's the way. And I'm going to share with you exactly how we're going to do that. And it's super fucking simple, right? It's to drop all your vices and to ingrain high frequency habits into your life. And these habits are essentially the daily rituals that build inner strength and keep you grounded. And these are the foundational tools for you to rebuild yourself from the inside out. All right, first, we must embody a life of discipline. This simply means doing the things that we know we need to be doing regardless of how we fucking feel about it. This means setting a morning routine and sticking with it every single day, no matter what. Didn't sleep enough? Well, too fucking bad. You have a routine. You must be disciplined. You have non-negotiables that you must do every single fucking day, regardless of what the fuck happens. And see, the reason we want to build discipline is because this is essentially the backbone of self-respect. If we continue to keep our word to ourselves, then we continue to get stronger. Now, if we say we're going to wake up in the morning, but we don't, then we lose a little bit of self-respect for ourselves. And if we continue this for a very long time, we essentially lose all self-respect and then we're fucked. Now, another high frequency habit that we must ingrain in our lives is deep work. We have to figure out how to be focused and productive on the things that actually matter. So every day we need to carve out specific blocks of time for focused work. Now this means no distractions, right? No phone, no computer, no TV, no distractions whatsoever. Just you and whatever you're working on. Now this could be a side hustle you're working on. It could be a creative project. It could even be your job. It can even be your relationships. It has to be deeply focused work where it's only you and that thing, and you have no other distractions that are going to take your attention away from the present moment. And this is a superpower in today's day and age because we are so easily distracted. We are worse than a goldfish when it comes to our attention span, which is fucking crazy. So this is a superpower. If you're able to be present with whatever you're doing right now, not only will you get stronger mentally, but you're also able to withstand any boredom and stay on task with other things that you're going to be doing. Now, the next high frequency habit that you must ingrain in your life is movement, is exercise. We have to move the body. Trauma gets stored in the body. All the emotions that we've been suppressing are in the body. So if we move, we allow it to have more space to resurface, and then we're able to deal with it again. It allows it to move, allows the energy to be freed up. Versus if we're just staying in bed all day long and we don't really fucking move at all, then the energy is just going to stay there, not be able to have the space to reemerge again unless it is forced to come up, and at that point it's already too late. We're not even able to respond to it. We just simply react like we've been doing. So move your body. You can go to the gym, you can run, you can swim, bike, martial arts, sports. It doesn't matter. Just get the body moving. Find something that you find enjoyable and just fucking do it. At least 30 minutes every single day. We got to get the heart rate going. And the point here isn't to get physically stronger. It's to embrace physical discomfort. It's to push through the uncomfortable phase. It's to get out of our comfort zone and into a zone of growth, which is discomfort. And the next high frequency habit that you want to ingrain in your life is mindfulness. So being able to sit with your thoughts, sit with your emotions, not judging them, not getting lost in the thoughts, just simply having awareness of what is going on inside your head and inside your body. This allows us to simply observe our thoughts and our emotions without actually being controlled by them. See, most men are controlled by their anger. So as soon as they feel the anger, they act out, they lash out, they do whatever they do with their anger. But once we're able to become more mature, be more of a man versus a little boy who just reacts to whatever he's feeling in the body. A man is able to have that emotional intelligence where he notices the anger festering up within him, but he's wise enough to not let it control him. He's able to observe the thoughts and the emotions without being controlled by them. This allows us to respond with clarity instead of just being clouded by judgment of that emotion or thought. Now, here's the thing. We must find a time for solitude. We must be alone with our thoughts and our emotions. This means that we must spend time without any distractions or anything to do, nothing on the agenda. Literally, your goal is to be bored. Just sit and be bored. No distractions, just you. Now, I know that sounds daunting and uncomfortable to most of you because we don't like to be alone with our thoughts and our emotions because we've just been suppressing them. And when we're alone, they come up more often. When we're not distracted, they come up. But that is the whole point. That's what we want. We want these emotions and thoughts to resurface so we can finally deal with them and let them go instead of continuing to suppress them through our bullshit vices. And once you're able to be alone and be comfortable being alone, this is where the true power lies. This builds self-reliance and it helps you build mental toughness. Because when we're able to find peace in solitude, we let go of the fear of being alone. And that really makes us extremely powerful. But look, bro, I gotta be honest with you, man. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna be very, very painful. This is not glamorous at all. This isn't shit that you can post on Instagram and flex. This usually isn't even something that you can talk to anybody about. This is simply you versus you in solitude. This is 5 a.m. alarms that piss you the fuck off. This is saying no to Friday night parties. This is saying no to drinking with the buddies. This is hard and sweaty workouts. This is tear-inducing journaling prompts. This is therapy sessions with yourself. This is uncomfortable and ugly and painful and miserable, but this is what's required. This is what being a man takes. This path is hard, but that's exactly why it changes you. But here's the beauty of it. This pain is only temporary. It doesn't last forever. Once you face the shadows, once you get over all of that, it becomes a lot easier. Whereas staying the same and suppressing your emotions, yeah, that lasts a lifetime. That pain doesn't go away. You're just gonna keep suppressing it and it's gonna keep getting worse. But this is how you heal from that. This is how you actually step into your true power and realize how much fucking power you actually have and what it takes to be a man versus a scared little boy who doesn't know how to deal with his emotions. So sure, it may be painful to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every single morning, but how painful will it be if you wake up 5 years from now in the same fucking situation that you're in now? I would say that that is a lot more painful than going through some 5 a.m. morning wake up times. See, the discomfort of growth is the good kind of pain, whereas the comfort of stagnation leads to the bad kind of pain, such as regret or self-loathing or mediocrity. And we've all heard the metaphor of every great man was forged in fire. So just like if you're building something out of steel, in order to bend and shape that steel, it has to be forged in the hottest of flames. Just like the best version of you has to go through adversity in order to come out stronger. It's just like a diamond has to be built out of pressure. Same thing with you. If you have no pressure, if you have no adversity, if you don't deal with the hardships, if you keep suppressing it, then you're never going to become that diamond. You're never going to become that best version of yourself. So you must flip discomfort into growth. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Discomfort is actually a good thing because you know you're growing. It's allowing you to become a better version of yourself. So face that discomfort, face the darkness, face your shadow. I want you to reframe pain as fuel. And when this fuel burns, it burns away the weaknesses. So when you start to feel the strain of your muscles burning, your heart racing, or the anxiety that you might feel from confronting a fear of yours, you must remember that this is the feeling of growth. It's the fire that's forging you. It's the pressure that's building the diamond. So by pushing through the discomfort, you are literally transforming into a stronger version of yourself, whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, or emotionally. No one ever becomes great by staying comfortable. And you got to remember that suffering is not the enemy. It's your greatest teacher on this journey. And now you might be somebody who is going to shut down this video and put in the work for the next week or a month or however long. And then you'll fall off. You'll go back to your old ways. You'll go back to your old habits. You'll say, fuck this. This is too hard. I'm not doing it. But that's when you really got to lean in. That's what separates the average from the greats. The greats are willing to stay committed to this and stay consistent throughout their entire life. See, this isn't just a 30-day program, right? This is a lifelong practice. This is our life. We want to create a lifelong practice of being this type of man. We don't want to be this type of man for a year and then go back to our old ways. We want this to be our life. So you have to prioritize consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. You have to do this every single day for the rest of your life. Now, your habits might change. You may do different things, different days. You may not have to go deeper on some days, but some days you will. But you have to be committed to excellence. You have to be committed to this pursuit of uncovering the best version of yourself by facing your shadow, by facing the darkness. And if you really want to embody this, well, you have to be the man that you claim to be. No more contradictions. No more saying that you value honesty, but then you lie to yourself. No more saying that, yeah, health matters to me, but I don't work out and I don't eat clean. No more saying one thing out in public, but doing another thing in private. See, this is all about integrity. Your actions must consistently match your principles. So stop wearing masks, stop putting on masks and pretending like you're somebody that you're not. And start being the real you. If you value honesty, stop lying to others, stop lying to yourself. Be real with yourself. Don't say that you're going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then when the alarm goes off, nah, fuck this, I'm too tired, I'm too cold, I don't want to get up, hit snooze, go back to sleep. You can't do that. People see through that bullshit. If you claim to be something that you're not, people see through it. Your energy will literally show people the real you. So leave the masks at home, don't put them on anymore. Allow people to see the real you. Don't try to act confident out in public and then behind closed doors you're falling apart. Drop the masks. Be the same man in the dark as you are in the light. The guy that's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, doing weightlifting, going out for runs or hikes, the man that's reading, the man that's journaling, the man that's meditating, this is the same man that people out in the world see. And if you try to lie about what you're doing, people are going to see right through it. If you tell people that you're on your grind and you put in the work, you do daily meditations, exercise, and you eat clean, people are going to see through it if you're lying. So drop the masks, be who you are, and start embodying the best version of yourself. There's massive power in being authentically you. You don't have to be the best put together guy. You don't have to be the most confident. You don't have to be the best looking. You don't have to lift the most weights. You don't have to have the most amount of girlfriends. You don't have to have any of this stuff. All you have to do is be authentically who you are. That's what people value. People value authenticity. They don't value all these things that you have. They value you for who you are and how authentic you are without any of those masks. So hold yourself accountable every single day, bro. No more excuses, no more blaming others when things go wrong. And if you slip up for a day, own up to it, correct it, get back up, and keep fucking moving. And this level of honesty with yourself is extremely rare. But this is what separates from those who truly want to change away from those who are just daydreaming. So, if you want a deep sense of self respect or freedom, this is what you must do. You must live as the man that you say you are and want to be. And when you dive into this, you no longer have to live a double life or feel like a fraud everywhere you go. You can look at yourself in the mirror with confidence, knowing that every single day you put in the work to become the best version of yourself, and you are aligning yourself with the man that you want to be. So you have two choices. One is you either keep hiding, keep suppressing the emotions, and continue feeling like shit, or you become the man that you were meant to be. The work starts now. So if you're ready to do the work, I want you to prove it. Prove it by leaving a comment down below saying, this is what I'm committed to. I'm committed to working on myself. I'm committed to facing the shadow and confronting all of my darkness and my fears. So start right now. Let's see who the fuck is in it to win it. See you on the next one.